Hey, Diane DeWald with CreativeCatCrafts.com. Today is another voiceover because I forgot to turn my mic on. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to do this fast and easy masculine card that you can apply this to just about any kind of stamp set. So we're going to use the Gina K Designs, the Skeleton Leaves stamp set. And what is that? The Graceful Greetings. We're going to use the Happy Birthday to You because I'm making a birthday card for a friend. We've got Sandy Beach and Chocolate Brown, and Kraft will make an appearance later. We're using the Barely There cardstock. And on the right, the Harvest Flourish Stencil. We'll be adding a little bit of focal there on the front of that card. That's our grounding element. So we're going to use a blending brush and put a little focal point. Speaking of blending brushes, I grabbed my regular and my small size blending brushes, and I have no idea what browns that were on there. So I used the 91% alcohol. Sprayed it on my little microfiber towel and then just rubbed them off until they ran clean. So let me get this all cleaned up here and move on to the next. So we're using my Misty, and I had done the Stencil blending brush with the chocolate brown and it was just too dark. That's why I grabbed the Kraft. So I'm getting ready to do the stenciling. So we've got the Kraft ink there, and I put the Barely There cardstock down, and using the Gina K background stamp 2 for my Misty Matte. It really works very well to hold your stencil in place. You don't have to worry about it. So I loaded up the Kraft ink, I pounced it off to the side, and I'm gently brushing it through the stencil. And here I'm checking to see what kind of coverage I'm getting, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to add just a little more to the card, the coverage, not necessarily the ink. And I think it turns out really well. So I'm putting away the Kraft because we're done with that, and getting the chocolate brown. And we're going to use this leaf here. I don't know what tree that's from. Might be a sycamore, but I don't know. But we're going to stamp this 3 times on the front. And I'm trying to get a random pattern here because sometimes your random looks like a pattern. And I want it to look like you just threw 3 leaves down on this cardstock, and that's where they landed. So I struggle with this third one, and it's kind of funny to watch. See, I struggle. It's like, how do I get this random? Leave me a comment if you struggle with this too. I seriously struggle with it. So there you are. There's your 3. And this panel was just a regular full-size A2, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to get ready after I cover up that ink, because you never know where that's going to go. I'll cut it using Master Layout 1. So I've already pre-stamped and pre-cut the Happy Birthday on white cardstock, and you can see it sticks out like a sore thumb. So here's a quick fix. I've got the Sandy Beach, and I'm going to grab my small blending brush, load it up with that Sandy Beach, and I pounce it off because you don't want a big blob. And I start off the die cut, and I'm gently, little bit of pressure, floating that blending brush over the top of that stamp, and die cut, and it doesn't look like much is happening. And even here you can kind of see it on there, but wait, look, it just blends beautifully with that Barely There. So Sandy Beach will warm up stark white cardstock so that it doesn't like pop off the page. So I've already cut it down using the Master Layouts 1, like I said. So we're going to go ahead and get it adhered to the mat and then put on the front of the card. So I should have just gotten that foam and that copy paper out of the way. So sorry about that. I didn't have good planning for this. This is one of those cards that I just kind of winged it. Yeah, move it up so that you can see what I'm doing. And when I line up cardstock like this, I look at the upper right, lower left, and if the margins look perfect for those two corners, the other two corners are going to fall into place. So I'm doing the same thing here. I've already pre-cut, pre-scored the Barely There cardstock. It is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25, and already taped it up. Get it right side, Diane. Don't tape it down upside down. I've done that. And then you have to take the panel off. It's frustrating and heart-wrenching all at the same time. So I'm using up my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals because being a former Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I have oodles of those. And getting my tweezers out. And I'm going to use the monitor to kind of try to figure out getting this straight on the card because otherwise I have to put my head over it. And I don't like where it's at initially. So I pull it off because I haven't pressed it down to permanent, and I move it over and it's like, no. So I put it back to where it was in the first place. And there you go. So the embellishments, I love these smooth round, what are they? Smooth discs from, who makes those? Spellbinders. I actually found these Cartwright's sequins. They have the same ones that Spellbinders produces and sells, but they have oodles of other colors as well. So I just this morning bought like 24 different colors just because I want to play with color. I love black, don't get me wrong. And I didn't have brown to put on here. I wish I had a brown, so I bought a coffee this morning. Not a coffee, but a coffee sequin. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Super fast, super simple. And you can just open it up, write your sentiment, but we're going to dress up the middle. So I've already pre-cut out the panel there using the Master Layouts one from Gina K. And I also have the mat cut out. And this stamp set I didn't show at the beginning. It's the, which is this? This is the special, inside edition from Gina K. I liked this little saying for my friend. And I noticed down in the lower left, there's this little dot of brown ink. So I must have had some ink on my finger. And I'm like, oh, I couldn't find my mono eraser. And I'm like, oh, we're just going to cover it up. We're going to put a leaf down there. So not only are we dressing it up in the inside, I'm also covering up a mistake I made. That's the beauty of, didn't have that fully covered with ink, so I had to pop it back over on the ink pad. But that's the beauty of stamping. You can cover your mistakes and nobody will know. So here Diane, cover that ink pad. Cover it. There you go. Good girl. And here we go with this. I'm using the tape runner again. And I'll put that on the brown. What is that? That's Chocolate Truffle. It's the Chocolate Truffle cardstock by Gina K. And we're going to get that affixed to the inside here in just a moment. And voila, we have a complete card. I think that turned out so well. So if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, if you would click the subscribe button down below, click the bell notification. That way you will be notified every time I post a new video, which I'm trying to do twice a week. I may go back to one. So next time, happy stamping.